I am going to be reacting to Amy's Life Journeys video, Cheese Knits. It's Wednesday weigh-in, so this is her, I think this is her most recent one if I'm not mistaken, most recent weigh-in. I know I've done a couple of them, so let's get to it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming today to watch my video, and if you have been subscribing, thank you very much. I truly appreciate all of the support that I have been receiving, along with some amazing messages of encouragement and just reminders of things to be thankful for, especially during a time when it's really hard to think of the positive when you're so focused on the negative. And so for me, it's been a great reminder. We have been alcoholing up our hands, the bottom of our shoes when we come into the laundry room. We don't wear typically shoes into the house. Sometimes we do, but very rarely. It's more Ollie, if any of us, that wear shoes in the house. But you know, it tends to happen once in a while. So I will definitely just spray down everybody's shoes just because. And then also I use this alcohol and I will go around. I have one in my car as well, so that we can spray the outsides of the car doors, the inside of the car doors, the steering wheel. I mean, we are pure. Like, for me, I feel like rubbing alcohol is going to be way better than just hand sanitizer. To me, I don't feel like hand sanitizer really does the job. That's my opinion. Especially when you get the fruits, you know, and things like that. I just don't feel like they're really going to do the job as well as if you were to wash with soap and water. But if you can't, then the next best thing for me, for my family, is the rubbing alcohol, and it really does help. And it's not drying our hands out. But I also have a Vino lotion that we put on as well, so that could be why our hands are not drying out. But anyways,
I mean, I definitely think it's good to be cautious, you know. You just never know. Of course, if you can not go out, that's always the better way. But, you know, we can't always do that. I have to go out to get groceries and stuff. But, yeah, people are definitely trying to be more cautious, you know. Which is great. You still have the dumbheads who think that they're immune to every disease, and so they're not. Although, you know, a lot of people have been talking about the anti-vaxxers and how, you know, they're always so big on, oh, vaccines are horrible. But then I wonder, are they the ones also wearing masks and keeping themselves safe? Or are they the ones that are like, no, if I catch it, that's fine. My immune system will be stronger, you know? I feel like they are those ones, unfortunately, which makes me sad. But I'm glad to see that Amy and her family are taking good precautions. It's important.
just been really keeping, you know, cautious whenever we go and touch anything. If we go outside at any given time, we come back in, our hands are washed again. During a time like this, it really shows you how many times you truly wash your hands throughout the day if it wasn't for a pandemic that is making you be more cautious of it. Now I sit and I'm like, wow, you know, how many times I come in the house all the time without washing my hands. You know, I wake up in the morning and I, you know, don't run straight to wash my hands, more so than once I like get up and I wash my face and all of that if I'm, you know, gonna be leaving. But, you know, you don't really think about how many times it's really necessary for you to really wash your hands or keep them sanitized. So it's been an eye-opener for me.
I mean, you know, it's even before this, like it's always the typical times, you know, before you eat, after you come inside from being outside, after using the restroom. Trying to think of the other main reasons you would typically wash your hands, and so I do those. I mean, even now, if I don't go outside, I'm not washing my hands 20 times a day because there's no reason to. But if I'm going outside and going to the grocery store or whatever, then yeah, I wash my hands when I come in. You know, I make sure to do that. I take my baths daily, so to get my body cleaned and stuff like that, you know. I'm not running up and kissing people and hugging people and stuff like that like I'm doing, you know. So it's the basic precautions. I feel like some people might be taking it a little too far, and I do feel like if you're that afraid, don't even go outside. Or, you know, as far as I know, they're still doing deliveries for groceries. Like, have your groceries delivered. Like, don't go outside if you're that worried. I saw a guy at Walmart wearing a mask with two little kids. They couldn't have been more than like 7 or 6. Neither child had a mask. Only the dad did. And I'm thinking, okay, if you think that you need to be safe wearing a mask, shouldn't your children too Like, that made no sense to me. That was kind of ridiculous. I was like, okay, that's just, whatever. But, like, if you're that afraid, just stay inside.
And also for my kids, you know, because they're slackish sometimes, you know, I mean, they're kids, and especially the two little ones, they're just right in that thing of really learning how to do it. So, you know, it's just constant reminder, go wash your hands, say the ABCs, sing happy birthday 3 times, and then you're good. Of course, Jeremiah already knows how to do all that, and he does it really well, so I don't have to worry about him, but the other two, yeah, I have to worry about. Excuse the pitter-patter of feet running across the kitchen floor, but the kids are playing and having fun, although one wants a tomato, so let me go grab a tomato really quick for his snack. So anyways, that's kind of what we have been up to this week. I've been cleaning with this stuff a lot. It comes with a pack of 4, and it's 2 of these and then 2 bathroom scrubbers, which I don't understand because they're both bathroom fighters. So, but of course I'm using it in my kitchen. I'm using it everywhere because it's just, to me, it's the better, you know, it's.
Yeah, I get this all-purpose cleaner at the 99-cent store that I like, and that's what I usually use because it has some good smells. I use like the lavender scented one for my bathroom and for my portion of the house, and then there's a lemon scented one that I use for the kitchen and stuff like that. So I like those, and then I have the Clorox Sanitize, like the wipes, because I don't go overboard with them. So I bought them prior to this. It was like a pack of 4 of the big ones, the Walmart brand. So I have those. But yeah, I mean, hey, if it's forcing people who never clean their house to clean their house, I say all for the, you know, this, because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who never washed their hands and never took baths and whatever, and they're like, oh, I don't want to catch this, and so now they're going crazy and like doing it all. But I say, hey, if that's the worst thing that you can say is that it forced you to actually be clean, I got no problem with that. Like, it's just funny to me. Like, I think there's a lot of people out there like that. So
100% cleans, and it makes everything sparkly white, and that's what I like. So anyways, that's what I've been cleaning with a lot, and I usually, between me and Ollie, we go probably about every 2 hours, and we just wipe down the faucets in the bathroom, and, you know, we'll spray a little disinfecting on the counters and wipe them down. It's just, for us and our sake, we would rather keep everything as clean as we can during this time especially. I mean, I like a clean house, but I mean, we're talking tip-top sanitized, probably over the top, because I just don't want any of us getting sick, especially the ones in my household that tend to get sick a lot easier than anybody else. That is what's kind of going on around here. There's not much been going on because really.
It's funny too, that reminds me, my friend was saying how their child hasn't been sick as much as they usually are lately because they're not letting people come over, because some people in their life will come over even if their children have been sick, and then they'll get my friend's kid sick. So I find that funny that, like, yeah, you're not letting them come over simply because they're family or good friends, you know, like that. When I have kids, that's the thing I'm going to ask: has your child been sick in the past 2 weeks? If the answer is no, okay, fine. Have they been showing any of these symptoms? No? Okay, you can come over. Like, really, I think more people should be like that, because people don't care. Like, a lot of people don't care. They don't care that their kid was sick a week ago. And the thing is that even before you start showing symptoms of just a cold, you can still be contagious. And even, like, after the symptoms are gone, you can still be contagious. So, like, a 2-week period is always the best, from the moment the symptoms started until they ended. I think maybe even 2 weeks after they ended. I don't know. Like, just to be on the safe side. But at least letting them know your child was sick prior to coming. That's important, because a lot of people don't even do that.
There's nothing we can do. So we're all just kind of sitting here tapping our fingers. I've had some time to, which has been really nice, I've been working on my laptop because I have so many pictures that I need to download that I'm overly trying to figure out how I'm supposed to get all of these done. So anyways, I'm trying to find one that would be cute to show you guys. Hold on, about this one. Let me see. Hopefully it shows very clearly, but that's Omar and Maya when Omar was 4 months old. But anyway, so I've got tons of pictures that I'm trying to burn onto CDs and stuff like that, because I need to back up all my pictures. I mean, I've got in the thousands of pictures, and I just, in this time, day and age, really not a lot of people download their pictures or like get them really developed. Like in the back in the day, you would go and take your your little camera film in, and that it would come back and you'd have pictures. But now with the technology the way it is, it just doesn't, I mean, it's not like it's a normal thing. But also, I mean, this is got Omar's birth pictures on it. It has all the way up through, and then there's another folder that has Jeremiah's baby pictures all the way up until he was 7, 8, I think. And then I switched over to iCloud and all of those, so then I never really put pictures on my laptop. So we have a lot of that I'm doing. So I worked on that for like 3 hours yesterday.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was a nanny for the first family I ever nannied for, I think I had 30, what did they tell me? I almost want to say it was like 32 gigs worth of pictures and videos that I had taken. Now, this is a 4-year period, but I was dumbfounded when they said, yeah, because I had a USB thing that I was going to give them, and I think it was 16 gigs. Oh, that should be enough. And they're like, no, we had to buy a 100 gig one or something like that. Or maybe they bought a 64 gig, I can't remember. And it used up all of the memory, and I was just like, that's insane. In fact, I put them on my laptop, which I might take them off just to help my laptop run better, because I think it just has too much on it. My poor baby. I love my computer, but hopefully in June I'll be able to get a computer built, and that way I'll have a better PC, one that can handle the editing and stuff like that, because my laptop just wasn't made for that. And I know it, and it's been doing good. It's been a trooper, I tell you what. But yeah, I get it. Like, my poor computer's just like, please let me be for now.
Which was nuts. What, honey? Help with your iPad game? Okay, hold on. Excuse me. He needed help. So, anywho, I have been trying to get that downloaded, done, clear off the space of my laptop, and then I'm also trying to see what pictures are like on my mobile devices and see what I need to do to get those pictures out and onto a CD as well. And I probably can just download them again onto my laptop and then burn them onto a CD. That's probably what I'm going to have to do, but I just want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. I don't go and erase all my pictures and then we're poop up a creek, shortly to say. So, anyways, I wanted to, well, we're on Wednesday weigh-in, so of course we're going to get the weigh-in. And yes, I do talk a little bit before the weigh-in. I do. I just, I mean, Wednesday weigh-in it's a great part of the day, but also I like to share more than just my weigh-in, so that's why I talk a little bit more before I do my weigh-in, to share just updates and things if you care to hear. If you don't, I'm sorry. And I was going to say, because I know somebody else on YouTube is doing Wednesday weigh-ins, which I'm so excited that there are people that are actually joining to want to do this too. Sorry, my pen. I've been so excited because there's quite a few people that are, well, not quite a few. There's one particular person that I know has joined the Wednesday weigh-ins, although they do daily weigh-ins, which is totally like cool. I'm totally down and dig that, because I understand what they say where, if you have a day that goes up, then you can stop and be like, well, hey, what did I do to create that pound to go up? Or
I almost feel like she's talking about Amber, but I could be wrong. I mean, no, Amber's discussed that, and but then I think she also, I think it was her that was like, oh, you know what, doing it on Sunday is better. But maybe I'm thinking of Jen. I don't know. I get confused. A lot of people say a lot of the same things lately. So I think that she could be talking to her, because that's what she said, oh, yeah. I don't know who she's talking about, but I'm sure I know the person that she's talking about anyway.
This is going back down. And I've done that in the past, but I noticed that I get more, like, I get obsessed with the numbers on the scale to where I will find myself, like, doing it 2 and 3 times a day. And I just, that's not healthy to me. I don't think that's healthy. I just don't think it's a very healthy situation for myself.
I absolutely agree. I have a friend who was overweight, not as big as I am, but close to. And then she became allergic to a lot of foods, which is just kind of random how that happened. And she started losing weight because she had to completely change her diet. She's basically a raw vegan now. And she says that the anxiety of the weigh-ins and stuff that she would do was just so bad that even now, even being thin and, healthy, she cannot weigh herself. She's been told by her psychiatrist, therapist, whatever, like, that it's a bad thing for her. And I feel like if the scale becomes an all-consuming thing for you, absolutely, you should not be weighing yourself on a daily basis. I think weekly is good enough anyway. I think even monthly is better, because then you can see, like, a huge change. But weekly's good. I do it weekly. Even when I know I'm gonna gain, I still will weigh myself, because no matter what, and I know I've said this before, like, I want to track my progress even when it's not progress. And right now it hasn't been, but it's just nice to see where I've been. I actually had recorded myself a couple years ago, and I was watching it, and I got down to 295. I'd lost 20 pounds. I was doing keto, and I had lost 20 pounds. And then for whatever reason, I had gotten sick, so I had stopped doing the diet. And then the moment I stopped, that was it. And then I went from 295 to my highest now would be 240 or 340. So what is that? 45 pounds in like 2 years? I mean, it took me 2 years, off and on, but yeah. So, but I liked watching it, I guess it was nice to see that, like, I could do it if I really put the effort in. And that's the difference between then and now, is I haven't put the effort in the way that I should. And of course, it's still been that way, especially the past few weeks. So yeah, definitely not a good idea to weigh yourself that much if it becomes an issue for you. Sorry.
So I choose to only wait on Wednesday mornings. This last week, we had my visitor come, so I didn't feel bad though. I'm wondering if my body's kind of shifting, because they said once you get an IUD, actually sometimes women's bodies just stop having a cycle altogether. And this cycle was a really weird cycle. Like, I only had the cycle for like 2 or 3 days. I have to go back and look on my calendar, but it was like 2 or 3 days. And normally I have a cycle for like 7 days. And yes, it was a lot heavier this month than prior months, but maybe that's why, because it's shifting to, like, I don't know. Not to get too much into TMI, but anyways, so I didn't feel bad though this last week. I didn't feel
Yeah, that's something I want to look into, is getting back on some kind of birth control to help with my fibroid too, because in some cases it can shrink it pretty good. So when I see the doctor on the 13th, assuming I still have that appointment, I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to ask her if she thinks that would be a good idea for me. My fibroid's quite large, so I don't know what exactly that will do. And I also want to talk to her about specific foods that she can think of that might make it grow. That, in other words, ones I should completely avoid altogether. I know processed food is a big thing. I actually wanted to do a Mediterranean diet. I just have to look into how to start that. It's basically just basically pretending that eating the way that I would if I had a farm and I grew my own everything, and I literally raised and slaughtered and whatever my own animals. So you eat the way that you used to eat before all this processed food was even a thing. And that's going to be very hard, because 95% of my diet is processed food. It comes in a box. I can guarantee it. There's barely, other than what I had for dinner today, which was chicken with noodles and veggies. The noodles, I don't know, maybe they were a little processed, but for the most part, that's the only thing I've had today that wasn't some kind of processed food. So that is definitely something I'm gonna have to do. I feel like I should just go join like a healthy eating commune or something, like just go off for a couple years and then come back and be like, yeah, I learned how to do right. I couldn't eat bad food because it wasn't available. Like, I feel like that is almost the only way that I'm gonna really lose the weight and get healthy, but it's not realistic. So
bloated. I didn't feel icky. I mean, nothing more than just my knees hurting like they have been. And clearly we know that that's not going to fix itself until I fix the situation. So as long as my fat butt wants to stay fat, then I can't complain about my knees. And I made that like totally like a thing in my mind now is I try not to biatch about anything that is bothering me physically, emotionally, or nothing, because you know what? I'm the only one that's putting myself in that situation. So if I'm going to complain, I might as well complain inside my own head because it's me that's doing it. Nobody's doing it to me.
Yep, that's kind of my go-to on my life too. Like, yeah, I have pains. My back hurts, my knees hurt, but I could guarantee most of that would go away if I lost 100 pounds. You know, I need to lose at this point I think it's around half my body weight, maybe a little more than that. I'm like twice as big as I should be. And that's not good for me. My heart doesn't need that. My knees don't need that. And I'm going to be 40 in a couple years. So I have to decide, like, where I want to be. I still want kids, you know, and I always have. And I think it would be incredibly devastating if I wait so long to change myself that or to change my health that I get to the point where they're like, well, now you can't have children, like, no matter what you do, you know? At this point, I'm not there yet, but I could be, and I don't want to be. So, it's stuff you just have to think about, you know, like, that has to always be on my mind, and I just give in so easily to my cravings. And I hate that they rule me. I'm going to look into the OA. I think I'm going to see if there's an online OA meeting I can do, and I'm going to look into it because I need some extra help. You know, I'm not doing this well on my own, and so I think she and I are in the same boat in that way. We both need the extra help, you know?
I think I've had a lot of messages, like, or comments that they would necessarily normally be like kind of an abusive comment, I guess you would say, but for me, I take it as fuel from my fire, and I push myself, and like, when I'm reading that, I'm like, no, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to do those things. I want to do these things. So I found myself the last day and a half just kind of skimming through messages or comments, not really like digging deep down, but you know, some of the messages that I read that, like I said, could have been considered like verbally kind of abusive, I didn't take it that way. I took it in a different eyesight, and I was like, well, how can I take that message and put it to me in a way that it would work for me and also keep the message still what they're trying to say. And I don't know, I feel really good about it. This week what I did was, as I was explaining to you guys a couple of days ago, I decided to go ahead and do a meal replacement in the morning, eat a lunch, and then have a meal replacement in the evening time, roughly around 6:30, and then try not to eat anything after that. You know, I don't need to snack. I have no reason to snack. The only reason I would be snacking is because I'm bored. I wouldn't be snacking because I'm hungry. If I got hungry, well, then get up and drink some more water, fill yourself up, do something, keep yourself busy, and that's what I kind of...
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm the same way. I eat because I'm bored usually. Like, I had a snack earlier while we were out shopping. Part of it was hunger because I had only had cereal at like noon. My sleep pattern has not been all that great. After next week, I'm going to be on call at work, so I'll have to learn to start eating better. Or not eating better, start managing my time better. Because as it is, I wake up at like noon. Then I don't go to bed till like 3 in the morning. That's a horrible, you know, but right now I can do that because I don't have anything else to do. But starting next week, not this coming week, but the week after, I'm going to have to get out of the habit.
So, some of you may agree with me, some of you may not. That's okay. Not everybody has to agree with everything everybody does. But what I have noticed that is helping me right now, especially during this time of being quarantined, not being able to go out and do much, I did download an adult coloring book on my iPad, and I have my pen, and I can just do coloring right on my iPad. I do paint to number, and I do regular coloring, like not like childish coloring, but just things that would be keeping me busy during times where, you know, I might be getting a little bored and wanting to eat or something.
Yeah, that's what I need to start doing again too. I think I'm gonna clear off my kitchen table, and I'm gonna set aside a time during the day, maybe when I get the most hungry or bored, or, you know, I do have a thing I can bring up and do it right here on my bed and just like color. I think I love to color, and I have a lot of coloring books and pencils and markers and all that stuff, but I do enjoy it. So
I will grab that and I will keep that, and it will keep me like not focusing on the food. I have also been getting up during this last week, cleaning the bathroom, making sure the kitchen counters are disinfected and clean. I've been catching up on all of the laundry, which I've been very proud of myself that I have been putting the laundry in, out, bringing it over to the ottoman, folding it, putting it away, and really not expecting anybody to help me. I've just been doing it myself. And like I said, does it hurt? Hell yeah, it does. But again, I can't complain to anybody but myself, because if I would just be firm with myself, then it wouldn't be happening. So that is my rant for this week. But let's go ahead and get into the weighing, you guys, and then I will be right back.
Hello. It's ready.
can't see it. Let's start.
474.8 pounds.
Person from weight.
Alright, so as of last week to this week, I am down 3 pounds. Woo hoo. It might not seem like much to some, but it's a loss for me, and I'm proud of that. You know, as long as the scale is going in the down mode, I'm do as you want. But as long as I'm not going up, I kept going up like between 477 and 478, 477, 478. The last couple weigh-ins, I noticed I wasn't being able to get off of those two numbers, but I feel like because of the things that I have chosen to pick up and start doing more of, I think it really has helped. And I noticed even like today when I got off of my chair, when I was getting up to come make the video, I noticed my knee, the one that really gives me a hard time, my right knee it didn't hurt much at all when I got up, and I thought, oh my gosh, you know, maybe just getting up and moving around has really been helping strengthen that up. Not saying that.
I mean, that definitely could be a possibility. You know, your joints get stiff. It's like me. If I lay in bed long enough, or when I wake up in the morning, my body hurts. Once I start walking, I'm good. It's just laying still or sitting still for a long period of time causes my joints to just stiffen. So yeah, that would make sense.
You know, that I've lost 100 pounds and woo, but maybe just getting up and moving a little bit has been helping the muscles, you know, stretch and start regaining maybe a little bit of strength, because let's be honest, when you sit and do hardly nothing, your muscles go to sleep and they just start deciding to, you know, not be the strength that you need when you need it. So
Yep.
anyways, enough chitter chatter. I hope you guys are doing okay. I pray that each and every one of you guys stay safe during this time. If you guys need to talk, or if you guys are feeling like you just are having a hard time, you're locked in the house, always feel free to email me at amy1981ramadan@gmail.com. I'm pretty quick to responding. If I don't respond back, I might have missed it, and I will see it when I go through and clean out my emails. I try and do that at least once a week, so sometimes you may not get a response right away, but you will, no matter what, as I get closer to where the messages are at. But other than that, I hope everybody is doing okay, you know, keeping your sanity while you guys are locked in the house. Maybe under the comment section, maybe share with me some more things that you guys are doing to keep yourselves busy. Like I said, I downloaded the app on my iPad, so I've been doing the adult coloring book. I've been looking up some really good recipes that I would like to try once everything kind of settles itself. And let me know how you guys are doing. So I am going to close here so I don't put you guys to sleep. But I hope you guys take care, and I will check in with you guys later. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that's good. She lost another 3 pounds in a week. That's pretty good to me. You know, my goal is usually just to lose at least 1. If I can just get down a pound a week, I'm happy. But I think that's really good. Some weeks are going to be better than others, of course. But I am considering doing meal replacements. Like I said, if I'm trying to go more of a natural way of eating, then that's not a good idea because those are probably incredibly processed. I mean, anything that comes in a bottle or a box is probably, wow. I mean, maybe like juices and stuff, I guess, if they're like all natural, but for the most part, if it comes in a box or a can, it's probably something I need to start staying clear of. But I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to do, but yeah, I'm proud of her. I'm glad that she's able to be down that, and I hope that continues. But I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll see you guys probably soon. If not, if I don't do any more videos today, I'll probably do more tomorrow. But yeah,